Hey artists, today we're going to make a galaxy painting. What you'll need is your watercolors, your watercolor paper, water. It's going to help if you can tape your paper down to a surface like I did. But if you don't have the tape, that's okay. You can do this without taping it down. What you're going to do is start with some sky kind of cool colors like blues, purples, but as you can see, I'm also adding in some red violet too, just to add a little bit of a warm in there. I didn't wet my paper down first. I'm just using the watercolors and filling in the whole piece of paper, just kind of blobbing it together. There's no one right way to put your colors. You're just going to kind of fill them all in to totally cover your paper, and then you're going to let that dry. After it has dried, you're going to go back and give it a second layer. So I'm going to start adding some darker areas into my galaxy. I'm going to not cover up everything and make it dark. I want to leave some light areas, but I'm filling in my corners and just making some areas that are like that deep, dark space sky. If I want to get rid of a harsh edge, I just dip my brush into water, and I just use water to kind of go over the edges of the color and let it help it blend into the colors that are behind. So if I have lines or harsh edges, I just go into my water and smooth them out. While the paint is wet, sprinkle some salt on some of the areas to get a little texture going. It'll kind of look like stars. For the real stars, you're going to wait till your watercolor is completely dry. And then with an old toothbrush, you're going to have some white acrylic paint. Dip it into the white acrylic paint and just pull back on the bristles of the toothbrush, or an old paintbrush too, if it's kind of got some thick or stiff bristles would work. So just pull back on the bristles and let that splatter onto your watercolors. If you don't have white paint at home, that's okay too. It'll look beautiful with just the salt having that texture. But if you have some acrylic, it'll add a little pop to your galaxy. You'll notice I covered up my work area with some newspaper. I untaped my watercolor paper from the table and put down some newspaper because this does splash and can make a mess. So be careful of your clothes, be careful of your work area, and then just let her rip.